You may not want to hear this, but you cannot be successful in projects if you do not get your project priorities straight. So in this video, I'm going to share with you just that, how to do a project priority matrix. Let's go. And if you want to learn how to master your projects with other things, I'm letting you know I got some free training for you, which is going to be really cool. And how do you go sign up for that? It's under this video in the link below. Go check it out. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Adriana Girdler, and you have landed on the best practical project management channel out there, YouTube world, yay. Now, that all being said, we're here to learn about project priority matrices. Why? Because they are critical for project success. So let's go, let's get to it. What is the purpose of a priority matrix? Well, it's to ensure from your project management triple constraints of scope, time, and budget, which is number one priority and how are you able to work within it so that when things pop up in your project, it gives you guidance and direction for decision making to ensure ultimately you're going to deliver on your scope and the end of the project deliverables that you've put out in your scope template. Okay, how do you create this? Let me first say, no, do not create it on flip chart paper. All right, this is for example only so you can see it. What you're going to do is you can create it on Excel, you can create it in a Word document, in a PowerPoint. I link mine in my charters, which is really important because you want to get everyone to sign off on it. This is all the stuff that I do in my Slay course for those of you who follow that program. Now, what is this priority project matrix? It's about taking your triple constraints, your scope, time, and budget, and you put it across. And you look at what is a constraint, what is optimized, and what is accept. So what do I mean about constraints? This is of your scope, time, and budget, what is immovable? Like, it's number one priority. We cannot change this. Don't even ask me to change it. It is something that has to stay true no matter what. This becomes really important because you know how many times are that there's scope creep when someone says, oh, just add this to it. And if you had scope as a constraint, that means you can't change it, whether it's for a positive thing or a negative thing. It does not matter. You can't change it. Now, I want to do a little bit of a clarification. Everything is changeable. Change is constant. You can always expect it. But Adriana, then why are we doing this? Because you need to have direction and goals. And if you're going to change anything, you want to do it properly with change control. And there are templates out there that really help you with that. But in the beginning of a project, when you have all your stakeholders together and everyone is agreeable, you want to get this locked down because I promise you, I use this as a tool, not only as a direction to help me make decisions, but as a tool to ensure that when people are coming to me to either give me less money but expect more from me, I go back to this tool here to help me out, to say, look, we all agreed to this. It is powerful and can stop things from derailing. So that constraint, as I said earlier on, is really, really important. It's immovable. It cannot change. What does optimize mean? Optimize is when one of these, whichever one is not the constraint, and you have two left. You don't want to change, ideally, if you can keep it the way it is, but if you have to change it, then that's something you'd consider. Doesn't mean that you'd do it, but you'd consider it. So it's kind of like your priority number two. And the last but not least is accept. So of what's left over, what am I willing to accept to change that if I have to keep this constraint and I want to optimize whatever is the second one that I chose, I'm willing to accept the change to that third item to make sure that I'm on track with my constraint, I'm optimizing my whatever it is that I chose, and my scope statement, what's in and out, and my deliverables are all going to be on track. It is critical. This has been a lifesaver. I use it as a tool to stop derailments of my project, and I cannot say enough. You must have this no matter the size of your project, and ensure that your senior management all sees it, agrees to it, and more importantly, signs off on it. Project matrix rules. Okay, so this is really, really important. The first and very critical rule, and I can't stress this enough for you, is you cannot have scope, time, and budget all a constraint. And I promise you, you get asked that all the time. Because when you actually start asking people, can you please tell me what the constraint, oh, scope, time, and budget, they're all a constraint. That's impossible. You can't negotiate when everything is immovable, yet people will dump on you. So no, it's not possible. The rule two is you must have either one checkmark X in each row column. So you have to ensure that you split this up. So for example, if you're going to say scope is my constraint, scope is my constraint, that means I cannot have time or budget as a constraint. But what I can do is I now can say, well, is it going to be optimized for budget or is it going to be time? And for the project that I'm doing, I'm going to say budget is going to be optimized. I don't want to increase my budget, but I'm willing to keep it as is, which now leaves me with just accept. That means I can accept time. I can actually move out time because I need to make sure that my scope is a constraint. And if something pops up, I am trying to minimize my budget, which means I have flexibility with my time to push out the project. And that just gives me the ability to ensure that we're successful with delivering. This is really critical. And it is something that's important to do at the beginning because you will get senior executives saying, no, just make scope, time, and budget. They're all a constraint. Everything's immovable. And we all know when we're thrown that, what happens in the middle of the project when things start derailing, because it's just a natural part of project management, or when things pop up that you're not aware of and now you're trying to plan in, is you can't do more with nothing. You either need more time or more budget, or you need to relook at the scope. And that's why this is important, because it directs the conversation and stops needless, unnecessary conversation, because you did this up front, it's part of your planning process, and you got senior executives to sign off on it. Really, really important, which is really the last rule, is get key stakeholders, executives to sign off on this and agree, and keep it with you at all times so you can bring it out and address any commentary that's happening and redirect people on what exactly it is they all agree to from a priority perspective for your project. All right, now that you know how to do one of these priority matrix, I can't wait for you to start using it, and let me know, put it in the comments below. But don't forget to sign up for that free training so you can learn more about some key elements that are going to help you be successful in projects. Where do you go again? You go to the link under this video. Until the next video, see you later.